Hey there, folks! Breaking news that could change everything for millions of Americans relying on Social Security benefits. We've just received confirmation about a massive $1,700 monthly increase that's scheduled to roll out soon. And I need to make sure you have all the details right away. This is going to impact SSA, SSI, and SSDI recipients across the nation, and the timing couldn't be more critical. If you depend on these benefits or know someone who does, you absolutely need this information. Hit that subscribe button right now and enable notifications so you never miss these crucial updates that could literally put thousands of extra dollars in your pocket this year. Now, let's dive into exactly what this means for you and when you can expect to see this money. The Social Security Administration has just announced what many experts are calling the most significant benefit increase in decades. With inflation hitting American families hard over the past few years, this $1,700 monthly boost represents a genuine lifeline for the millions of seniors, disabled individuals, and others who rely on these benefits to survive. But here's what you need to understand: this isn't just a one-time payment. This represents a permanent increase to your monthly benefits, potentially adding up to over $20,000 in additional income per year. Have you been struggling to keep up with rising costs? Are you one of the many Americans who's had to choose between medicine and groceries? This increase could be the financial breathing room you've been desperately waiting for. What's particularly important to note is the specific timing of this rollout. The Social Security Administration isn't implementing this increase all at once. Instead, they're using their established payment schedule based on birthdays to determine exactly when you'll see this money hit your account. For those of you born between the 1st and 10th of the month, you'll be the first to receive the increased amount. Those with birthdays falling between the 11th and 20th will see their increases in the second wave, while recipients with birthdays from the 21st through the end of the month will receive theirs in the final distribution group. But what if you receive both SSI and SSDI benefits? How will this affect your specific situation? I'll break down the exact dates for each group so you can mark your calendars. Now, I know what many of you are wondering: where is this money coming from? And is it sustainable? The truth is that this increase is primarily driven by the cost of living adjustment formula that the SSA uses to keep benefits in line with inflation. Given the extraordinary inflation we've experienced recently, this adjustment is correspondingly substantial. But here's what makes this particular increase different: additional funding has been allocated specifically to ensure that beneficiaries don't just keep pace with inflation but actually gain ground financially. When was the last time a government program actually helped you get ahead rather than just barely keeping up? That's what makes this announcement so remarkable. Let's talk about how this affects different types of beneficiaries. For standard Social Security retirement recipients, this increase will be calculated as a percentage of your current benefits, meaning those with higher existing benefits will see larger dollar increases. However, for SSI recipients, who are often among our most financially vulnerable citizens, the increase represents a much higher percentage of their current benefits. This is deliberately designed to provide the most assistance to those facing the greatest financial challenges. Have you been worried about making ends meet on your current benefits? This targeted approach should offer particular relief to those currently receiving the smallest monthly payments. Another critical aspect of this increase is how it will affect the benefits threshold. Many Social Security recipients know that earning too much additional income can reduce their benefits. With this increase, the threshold for what constitutes substantial gainful activity is also being raised. This means you can potentially earn more from part-time work without seeing your benefits reduced. Isn't it about time that the system stopped penalizing those who are trying to supplement their income? This change acknowledges the reality that many beneficiaries need both their benefits and some additional income to truly achieve financial stability. What about the impact on Medicare premiums? This is always a concern when Social Security benefits increase, as rising Medicare costs can often eat away at benefit increases. The good news is that as part of this package, Medicare Part B premium increases will be capped, ensuring that beneficiaries actually get to keep the vast majority of this benefit increase. Remember how in previous years, a significant portion of COLA increases were immediately consumed by higher Medicare premiums? That won't be happening this time, thanks to these coordinated policy changes. How much of a difference will this make in your monthly budget when you get to keep nearly all of that $1,700 increase? Let's address some common questions I've been receiving about this increase. First, do you need to apply for this increase or take any action to receive it? The answer is no. The increase will be automatically applied to your benefits. There's no paperwork to fill out or application to submit. Second, will this increase affect other benefits you might be receiving, such as SNAP, food stamps, or housing assistance? This is an important consideration since many programs have income limits. The legislation includes provisions to prevent this increase from disqualifying current recipients from other assistance programs for at least 12 months, giving people time to adjust. For those of you concerned about taxes, there's mixed news. This increase will raise many recipients' total annual benefits, which could push some people into a higher tax bracket for their Social Security benefits. Currently, individuals with combined incomes exceeding $25,000 and couples exceeding $32,000 may have to pay taxes on up to 50% of their benefits. With this increase, more beneficiaries may cross these thresholds. Have you been planning for the potential tax implications of increased benefits? It might be time to consult with a tax professional to optimize your situation. Now, I want to be completely transparent with you. There are critics of this increase who argue that it could accelerate inflation or add to the national debt. Economic experts are divided on this issue, with some pointing out that directing money to Social Security recipients actually stimulates the economy efficiently since these funds tend to be spent immediately on necessities rather than saved. And isn't it interesting that these concerns about inflation and debt seem to arise primarily when benefits to ordinary Americans are increased, rather than when tax cuts for the wealthy or corporate subsidies are implemented? What steps should you take now to prepare for this increase? First, review your budget and consider how best to utilize these additional funds. For many, paying down high-interest debt might be the priority, while others might finally be able to afford necessary home repairs or medical procedures they've been delaying. Second, stay alert for official communications from the Social Security Administration. Not everything you read online about these increases is accurate, which is why following this channel for verified updates is so important. Have you subscribed yet? If not, take a moment to do so now. The bottom line is this $1,700 monthly increase represents a significant improvement in financial security for millions of Americans who have spent decades contributing to our system. After years of watching benefits barely keep pace with the true cost of living, this adjustment acknowledges the real economic challenges facing beneficiaries. But remember, staying informed about exactly how these changes will affect your specific situation is crucial. That's why I'll continue bringing you verified information as it becomes available. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with friends or family members who rely on Social Security benefits. Together, we can ensure that everyone who's entitled to these increases actually receives them.